Hey everyone, welcome back to Sgcarmart. So right now I'm here in Ingolstadt, Germany, and this is the home of Audi. So why am I here? I'm here to drive these two cars right here, the Q8 e-tron as well as the Q8 e-tron Sportback. So these two models have been recently previewed at the recent Audi House of Progress, and I am going to finally drive them. But that's not all I'm going to do this trip. We are also going to do some dynamic driving as well as go check out the Audi Museum. So let's get going. Now, the original Audi e-tron was a very successful model globally with over 150,000 units sold, and these are the updated models. So they also have an updated name, the Q8 e-tron, as well as the Q8 Sportback e-tron. And as far as exterior changes are concerned, they may look quite minimal, but they are actually kind of important. So we have the new 2D logo as well as a new front grille, but perhaps more importantly is the fact that the overall aerodynamics of this car have been improved as well. So we have functional air ducts, we have tweaks to the way airflow works on this car, and it's important because improved airflow means less aero drag, better aero efficiency, and thus better overall efficiency in terms of energy. Now, as for the interior of the car, both the Q8 e-tron and Q8 Sportback e-tron are effectively unchanged from before. So we still have your fully digital cockpit, you have your two-screen setup with all the same functionality as before, and even the center console, the seats are all the same, right? So on this particular variant, we do get the virtual mirrors that's offered as a cost option, and you will have the choice of maybe a few more trims as far as the interior is concerned. But there's really not much to talk about because the main changes on this updated model is all under the skin. So there are three real things to talk about. So first is more range. So that is courtesy of two things. One is better aerodynamics. A lot of the outside changes are to enhance the aerodynamic performance, and also the battery is now of a larger capacity. It's not of a larger size because the battery is physically the same size as before, but the individual battery cells are more dense now, and therefore overall battery capacity is higher. And also the electric motors have been retuned such that it's able to be more efficient in its working, right? So it can produce the same amount of power using less energy, and that of course contributes to overall improvement of range. And on this 55 model, you're looking at somewhere like 32% improvement in overall range. Now, the one other thing that has also been changed is the upgraded charging performance. So this car is able to charge on DC up to 170 kilowatts. And what effectively that means is that with this larger battery density and capacity, you are still able to achieve the same charging timing as before. But yes, enough about talking about the car and sitting in the car. Let's go drive this car and see how it feels on the road. Alright, so I am now driving the Q8 e-tron, and how does it feel compared to the previous e-tron? Honestly, it feels the same. It honestly feels identical, and that's not really surprising, right? I think that was what Audi set out to do, to make the car with more range, but beyond that, the car fundamentally still feels the same. It's a comfortable, luxurious, all-electric SUV, right? It's supposed to be practical, family-friendly, and it does all that. I'm doing 105 on the highway now, and it's very quiet, it's very smooth. There's plenty of power to put down, so if I just put my foot down, it's plenty quick if you need to be, but it's still very refined. And I think most importantly, it's just very, very comfortable, very smooth, and easy to drive over long distances. And that's what a car like this is supposed to be, right? So as far as range is concerned, I'm doing 22.8 kWh per 100 km. I will go and do the math later. Audi claims that this car has an improvement of 32% over the outgoing e-tron. Is that a believable number? I don't know. I don't think you're going to get 32% improvement, but 15%, 20%, I think that's quite believable and quite doable as well. And the other changes in terms of like dynamism, right? So Audi has tweaked the front dampers, the overall chassis tuning, stuff like that. Obviously, on normal highway driving, you're not really going to feel it. I must say, having driven around some twisty roads, it does feel a little bit sharper. So I think especially since the steering wheel is a little bit quicker now, the car perhaps doesn't feel quite as big as before. It's still quite a big car, but fundamentally I think it's still a sensible, practical family SUV, right? This is not magically going to become a sporty SUV. You might want to look out for the Q8 for that. But I think this car just fulfills its brief. It's On its surface, not complicated, right? The differences, it might seem very minimal because the interior is the same, the exterior is largely the same, and there's no big figures to shout about as far as what has changed on this car, but there's actually quite a lot that's happening under the skin to make this car a better proposition without fundamentally changing the character of this car. So we're now here at the Audi Driving Experience Center. This is the home of Audi Sport, and of course then we are going to drive some Audi RS models. So these are the cars that we're going to be driving today at the Audi Driving Experience. So we have the R8 V10 as well as the RS e-tron GT. And obviously these are Audi's two sportiest models. So first up we have ABS braking. So we are in the RS e-tron GT. This is a crazy fast car, but it's also a really heavy car. So let's see how it does under braking. We're going to go for full ABS braking. I'm going to hurt something possibly, but let's do this. Okay, let's go. But actually it's super stable under braking. Like, it's not moving at all. Hey guys, so second thing we're gonna do is some slalom driving. So let's go. Now this is a big heavy car, but all the electronics are doing a lot of work here, and it's just a piece of cake. Okay, so next up we are going to test the accelerative powers of this RS e-tron GT. So this car has a claimed 0 to 100 timing of 3.3 seconds. Let's see if we can do a little bit better. What? And we just did a 3.2, and it's not even the fastest run we've did. We've actually done a 3.0, which means the 3.3 number is quite conservative actually. And yes, this car is outrageously fast. I mean, I think it's almost too fast for daily roads. But yes, you can do a 3.2 0 to 100 in this RS e-tron GT.
Driving the R8 around the test track is a glorious experience, a nostalgic reminder of the joys of the internal combustion engine. It is just so capable of putting a smile on anyone's face. Sure, the car is fast, sharp handling, and a highly competent sports car, but it is ultimately the noise that we will miss the most. The Audi Museum houses a collection of cars that showcase the long and complex history of the brand. Cars from the early 1900s to modern recognizable models like the Audi Quattro and A8, and even fabled race cars like the Quattro S1 and the Type C.
So some concluding thoughts about my time here in Germany. Obviously the Q8 e-tron and the Q8 Sportback e-tron are the hero cars of this trip, and again, the changes may not seem plenty on the surface, but it is a key improvement for the model, and with the way Audi is trying to streamline its model range, the naming change makes sense, I suppose. And yeah, I think it was also a good chance to get to try perhaps the cars like the R8 and the RS e-tron GT in a more dynamic setting, and the chance to go to the museum. You get to see that through line between what has come before, what's currently in the lineup, and then again what's set for the future for Audi. So yeah, that's my time here in Germany. I hope you enjoyed this video. Do remember to like, share and subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you will be alerted of all our upcoming videos. And of course, you can check us out on TikTok as well. So yes, on my final leg in Germany, I'll see you back soon in Singapore. Bye!